A disastrous week 1 for the Carolina Panthers has just got significantly worse. Panthers star D lineman Derrick Brown has suffered a potentially season-ending knee injury in the team's loss to the New Orleans Saints. He's currently undergoing more tests to determine the severity. Derrick Brown is arguably Carolina's best player, and he just signed a 4-year, $96 million contract this offseason. So it appears that the Carolina Panthers are going to have a season just like last year, if not even worse. Now, Carolina Panthers fans had a ton of optimism going into this season, this being because of a revamped O-line, some offensive additions in Xavier Legette and Deontay Johnson, and a brand new head coach who is set to make a new culture in Carolina. However, if anything, it appears that the Panthers could be even worse than last season. So where do the Panthers move forward after this? They have lost their best player on their entire team after getting beat by a very mediocre team in week 1 by 37 points. So the expectation for the Carolina Panthers this season has completely changed just after one game. A lot of fans even believe that the Panthers won't even win a single game this season. While that probably isn't true, it is safe to say that the Carolina Panthers will definitely not be favored in any game this entire season. So potentially the Carolina Panthers are staring down at picking first in the NFL draft in 2025. If that were to happen, who would be the pick for the Carolina Panthers? Obviously, if the Panthers do end up going 0-17 or just having the first overall pick, that would mean that Bryce Young has not developed the way that the Carolina Panthers thought he would. When coming out of Alabama, Bryce Young was an absolute baller. In 2021, Bryce Young won the Heisman Trophy along with the College Player of the Year award. He was an absolute beast in college at Alabama and an absolute nightmare to opposing defenses. So how come that ability and skill has not translated to the NFL? Well, while at Alabama, Bryce Young had some absolutely lethal weapons on offense, some of them being Jameson Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, and John Mechie. So the casual fan might believe that Bryce Young just got carried by some star elite offensive players while he was at Alabama. However, this is very far from the truth. Bryce Young was a very great passer at Alabama. He was very great at eluding defenders and extending plays, and he was one of the best, if not the best player in all of college football. So why hasn't this success translated over to the Carolina Panthers in the NFL? Well, first, let's look at some quarterbacks who have played for the Carolina Panthers in the last few seasons and look at them now on their current teams. First, we are going to be beginning with quarterback Sam Darnold. Now, Sam Darnold was the 3rd overall pick in the 2018 draft to the New York Jets. However, after just 3 seasons, he was traded to the Carolina Panthers for a handful of draft picks. Now, being traded from one poverty franchise to another definitely did not help Sam Darnold's career. While with the Panthers, he had 16 touchdowns and 16 interceptions in 2 seasons before they moved on to Baker Mayfield. A lot of Panthers fans were excited about this pickup because Baker Mayfield was considerably better than quarterback Sam Darnold. Baker Mayfield had led the Cleveland Browns to their first playoff win in who knows how many seasons. However, Baker Mayfield did not find that same success with the Carolina Panthers, only having 6 touchdowns alongside with 6 interceptions in his lone season with the Panthers. Okay, so the Panthers got 2 quarterbacks who weren't great, but they didn't have really high expectations to begin with the Panthers. So let's draft the best player in college football, Bryce Young, to save our franchise. Bryce Young had 11 touchdowns to go alongside with 10 interceptions in his rookie season. In the Panthers season opener this past Sunday, he had 0 touchdowns to go with 2 interceptions. So what does all this information that I just gave you mean? Does it mean that the Panthers just can't find the right guy at quarterback? Or does it mean something different? In Sam Darnold's Viking debut, he threw for 206 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception. While that is not the most appealing stat line, he did start the game 10 for 10, and he looked like a very great passer this game and an overall great quarterback. This came to the surprise of many because we thought that Sam Darnold was an absolute bum this entire time. However, if you look at the teams he's been on, the New York Jets and the Carolina Panthers, they never gave him an O-line, they never surrounded him with talent, and that's exactly what the Minnesota Vikings have on their offense. Alright, so Sam Darnold might be a pretty decent quarterback, but let's move on to Baker Mayfield. After moving on from the Carolina Panthers and having a short stint with the LA Rams, Baker Mayfield is now Tampa Bay's franchise quarterback. Last season with the Bucs, Baker Mayfield threw for over 4,000 yards, had 28 touchdowns, and only 10 interceptions. To go along with that, he got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a playoff win, beating the Super Bowl runner-up in the prior season. In Baker Mayfield's 2024 season opener, he threw for almost 300 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, while having a 146.4 passer rating. So, one could assume that Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield are actually pretty decent quarterbacks. So, could this also mean that if Bryce Young were to be on a more competent team, that he also would be a very good quarterback? It appears that when you give your quarterback help on offense, that being with a good running back, good receivers, and a good O-line, the quarterback is also pretty good. Now, for the last few seasons, the Carolina Panthers have been where quarterbacks go to die. This is because they have very mediocre coaching, a very mediocre O-line, and very mediocre offensive players. I say all of this to say that when the Panthers are picking first in the 2025 NFL Draft, do they need to pick a quarterback? If I were the Carolina Panthers, I definitely would not. If you look at the recent history, bringing in a quarterback isn't just going to solve your offensive problems. If I were the Panthers and I had the first pick, I would 100% trade back and acquire more draft picks. The Panthers need an upgrade on the O-line and an upgrade at all skill positions on the offense. If they could get Bryce Young some actual help and surround him with a competent offense, I believe that Bryce Young will also be a very good quarterback for them. I do not believe that you just draft another rookie quarterback with your first pick and let this whole situation unfold like it has for the last 4 seasons. So with all of this being said, I do not believe that the Carolina Panthers are trending in a positive direction at all. As long as David Tepper is running things, the Carolina Panthers will not be good at all for the rest of his tenure. So, if you are unfortunate enough to be a Carolina Panthers fan, I am very, very sorry for you because it is not going to get better anytime soon. If you have watched all the way to this point, please leave a like, please subscribe, please leave your thoughts in the comments down below. These videos take a lot of time and effort, and I appreciate all the support that you guys give me. Now let's hope that the Carolina Panthers will be able to turn this thing around within the next few seasons. I will see all of you guys in the next one. Peace out.